Hello everyone, I'm John Cabalbag and I'm here to discuss to you the safety in the industry. But before that, what is industrial safety? Industrial safety refers to the management of all operations and events within an industry in order to protect its employees and assets by minimizing hazards, risks, accidents, and near misses. And industrial safety is primarily in management activity which is concerned with reducing, controlling, and eliminating hazards from the industries or industrial units. Industrial safety covers a number of issues and topics affecting the safety of personnel and the integrity of equipment in particular industry. These topics are the general safety, which is the general aspects which are common to all industries. The occupational health and safety, particularly associated with the occupation, process and production safety, the material safety, which deals with the materials used, workplace safety, which is the safety issues directly related to the workplace setting, fire safety, electrical safety arising from the equipment used, building and structural safety, which including the installations as per existing building code, and the environmental safety, which concerns the direct and indirect impact on the industry. Next is the significance of industrial safety. Industrial causes a great loss to the both employer and employee. The cost of compensation or the wages, cost of medical aid for the medication, cost of training of a new worker, cost of the lost time, cost of investigation, cost of supervision and inspections, cost of the government in terms of factory inspectors and public health services, cost of spoilage of materials, cost of the damage of the machinery, cost of wages payable during injury, cost of the lost morale, and cost of of loss to the worker and his family. Next is the objectives of industrial safety. First is to prevent accidents in the plant by reducing the hazard to minimum. Then to eliminate the accident caused work stoppage and lost production. To achieve lower workmen's compensation, insurance rates, and reduce all other direct and indirect costs of accidents. To prevent loss of life, permanently disability, and the loss of income of worker by eliminating causes of incidents or accidents. To evaluate employees' morale by promoting safe work and good working condition. To educate all members of the organization in continuous state of safety mindless, and to make supervision competent and intensely safety minded. Since accident is unavoidable, here are the measurements and records of accidents used. First is the accident frequency rate, which has a formula of number of injuries times 10,000 all over the total number of man hours worked. And next is the accident severity rate, which has a formula of number of man day lost times the 10,000 all over the total number of man hours worked. Then what are the common causes of industrial accidents? First is the unsafe condition, which is the job itself, the work schedules, the psychological conditions, and the machineries and equipment involved. And number two is the unsafe acts, which is, for example, it without using proper personal protective equipment and other miscellaneous causes. What are the measures to ensure the industrial safety? First is the safety policy, which is the rules and procedures or safety procedures followed by all the employers. Next is the safety committee, where they are the safety officers. And next is the safety engineering, like the guarding of machinery, material handling equipment, the safety devices, ergonomics, plant maintenance, and general housekeeping. Next is the safety education and training. These are, for example, these are the basic occupational safety and health training. And lastly, the role of the government, which is the implemented by the government to be abide and followed by all the workers. There are four E's of safety. First is the engineering, wherein it is the safety at the design and equipment installation stage. Next is the education, wherein it is the education of employees in some practices or the trainings, something like that. And enlistment, wherein it concerns the attitude of the employees and management towards the program and its purpose. This necessary arose the interest of employees in accident prevention and safety consciousness. And lastly, it is the encouragement, which is to enforce the adherence to safe rules and safety practices. There are three safety inspection procedures. First is the safety audit, wherein a safety audit subjects each area of a company's activity to a systematic critical examination with the object of minimizing loss. Next is the safety survey, which is it is the detailed examination in depth to a narrower field of activity. And the safety inspection, it is a routine scheduled inspection of a unit or department which may be carried out by someone, maybe a safety representative from within the unit, possibly accompanied by a safety advisor. The inspection would check maintenance standard. Next is the safety equipment. Personal protective equipment, or also known as PPEs, are also called the safety equipments. PPEs are the equipment that protect you from health and or safety risks at work. Health or safety risks addressed by personal protective equipment include physical, electrical, heat, chemicals, and biohazards, and an airborne particulate matter. There are four types of PPEs. First is the respiratory protection. The purpose of respiratory protection is to ensure that the worker are adequately protected from inhaling excessive airborne contaminants or oxygen deficient air. Types of respiratory protections are the disposable respirators, reusable half or full face respirators, and powered air and supplied air system. Next is for the eye protection. It is used to improve the eye safety at work, wherein you must first identify the hazards. There are three types of hazards that you may protect from your eye. First is the projectile, which is the dust, concrete, metal, wood, and other particles. And the chemicals like splashes and fumes. And the radiation, which is especially the visible light, UV or ultraviolet radiation, heat or IR radiation, and lasers. And there are types of eye protection like the protective spectacles, over specs and welding spectacles, and safety goggles. For hearing protection, hazards that you may encounter is for the psychological, where it can cause stress or interferences with communication and concentration. And the psychological, which is the oral pain or even nausea. These types for hearing protection is the disposable earplugs or the reusable earplugs. Lastly is the hand protection. The personal protective equipment that you will use to protect your hand is the gloves. You must to protect your hand because it is the busiest part of your body in any work. And that's probably ends my presentation. So I hope you learned some of the topics discussed, and we all know that safety is one of the most important aspect in from any work, from simple to crucial type of work. And always remember that safety will always be our top priority. And like what we are experiencing right now, the pandemic, safety is more than any luxury.